It is 10 minutes before your software engineering exam. You open your notebook and you are staring at 40 pages of text, hundreds of lines, and a dozen complex diagrams. Let's close the notebook. We are going to build a single-page mental map that organizes all 4 models into a single cohesive system. Think of the software development lifecycle, the SDLC, as the road every project has to travel. These 4 shapes are the process models. They are different vehicles designed to navigate different types of terrain along that road. If you can identify the specific terrain that triggers each vehicle, you can accurately answer the scenario-based questions your examiner will use. First is the waterfall model. Notice the linear, one-way path. This vehicle is for projects where the requirements are fixed from day one, like a payroll system or a library database. But if the customer is confused and doesn't know what they want, you cannot build the final product yet. You build a sample first to get their feedback. This is the prototype model. Then we have projects like Instagram or WhatsApp that need to release working software gradually. Each stage produces a usable product, adding more complexity through sequential versions. This is the evolutionary model. Finally, the spiral model. Each cycle forces the team to stop and ask, what can go wrong? This is used for massive projects where you must manage every potential risk before moving to the next phase. Fixed, sample, versions, risk. These 4 pillars are the foundation of your revision sheet. Examiners often test if you can distinguish between a prototype and an evolutionary version. Look at the outputs. A prototype is a temporary mock-up used to finalize requirements. An evolutionary version is actual working software that users can operate immediately. Both the evolutionary and spiral models repeat cycles. To tell them apart, look at the intent. Evolutionary cycles are used to add and improve features. Spiral cycles are used to hunt down and mitigate dangers. When you identify the primary intent behind the cycle in the exam prompt, the correct model becomes clear. Let's turn this into an exact sequence you can run in your head. Start with the most critical test. Are the requirements completely locked in? If yes, it's a straight line down the waterfall path. If requirements aren't fixed, ask if the customer is confused about the final product. If they need to see something first, you are looking at the prototype model. If the requirements are known, but the software needs to grow over time, choose evolutionary. If the project is high stakes and dangerous, the path leads to the spiral model. Let's test it. Your exam reads, a startup wants to release a basic app first and add features every month. Run that through the tree. The requirements aren't fixed, and the goal is regular working updates. This path leads directly to the evolutionary model. Navigating the decision tree this way helps you identify the correct model for almost any application-based question. Now let's apply this to a complex scenario. ISRO is developing software for a new satellite mission. In space missions, a minor coding error can result in a catastrophic loss of hardware and years of research. A simple linear path or a basic mock-up won't suffice for projects of this scale. Through the decision tree, extreme risk points directly to the spiral model. Compare that to a client saying, I'll know it when I see it. Unclear requirements trigger the prototype model. Regardless of how the examiner frames the story, the underlying decision path remains consistent. This visual grid is your final summary. Fixed for waterfall, sample for prototype, versions for evolutionary, risk for spiral. You now have the framework to analyze any SDLC selection problem. But before we choose a model, we have to discover what the software actually needs to do. We'll start that process in the next video.